What's good? What's good? What's good? Sheesh. How people feeling today? About to get the morning started. Got my little face bath right here. Ice water. I'm chefing it up. Mix it up. Mix it up. Come on now. Nah. What up, Whimsical? Let's get it. So we're gonna do this like 3 times. About 30 seconds. And one thing I learned is you gotta take as much break time as you did dip time. Why? It's good for the skin. And it's good for the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve helps control your breathing and your thinking. So doing this cold face plunge just helps reset the nervous system real quick, reset the brain real quick. As well as the cold is gonna make your face tighten up. You feel me? The skin's gonna retract from the cold. And then it's also good, the bags under your eye. And once your face gets cold, your body is going to automatically send blood to your face and your head to warm it back up. So, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I did it, I just did it to do some shit. And then I looked up why people do it. Right, exactly. Beauty tips. Try to help y'all get y'all skin right. You feel me? Keep you glowing in this bit. You feel me? Aging for what? What? I got told I look like I'm 22 2 days ago. I said, I'll take it. I'm 31. I know I don't act like no 20-year-old, so it's straight. You feel me? But yeah, promote the. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. But like I did say, is when you do this, you gotta make sure you take as much pause time as you do dip time, because it can be negative if you let your shit get too cold, because then your blood vessels is gonna start popping and shit. You don't want that. You don't want to restrict yourself that much. You feel me? This is enough to cool you down and reset the brain thinking a little bit and tighten these pores up. But yeah, no cap, no kidsy. I do this almost every morning. Especially if I know I'm about to film some shit or if I'm about to get on a live or something. But yeah, we got this going. About to make our morning tea. We a little late on the day. I've been up. I'm not gonna lie, I've been up for like 2+ hours now. But I've only been on my feet for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Oh, you want to see something else? So I do that. It's gonna get you a banana. Oh, bananas are good for the skin as well. We just gonna take this right here. You gotta pull the locks back. and just rub it in. I actually saw this on multiple videos. You already know homie Ashton Hall. But then I seen a black woman and her mom telling her to do this. And it makes sense because the peel of the fruit have the vitamins in it, you feel me? That you're eating. So you can get the same vitamin A, vitamin E by rubbing it into your face. I know it's interesting, but again, I've been doing this for like 2 months now. And I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't see the difference. I don't really do a whole lot on my face, but I could see the difference in the glow of it after I started doing this banana and ice shit. I'll rub it in for like about a minute, and I'm just going off of guesstimate time. I don't got no clock going or nothing. But I mean, you can see the peel starting to fall apart, so. You put lemon on your face? Why lemon? I feel like the citrus is gonna be negative for it. I've never heard that. Honey, I don't think I've heard that either. But hey, I ain't gonna knock it. I'm over here rubbing banana peels on my shit. My only complaint about that is it be chunky and shit. Hey, it be leaving chunks on a nigga face. That's my only complaint with the banana part. And then I go wash my face in the bathroom sink. It was banana chunks in the bathroom. I don't really like that, dog. I'm about to wash my face in the kitchen sink. And another thing I do, I'll take the ice cube and the bags under my eye have been getting bad, boy. And it's mainly because I be staying up late. That's actually not a bad idea. Blend up the banana peel. But if I'm gonna make it cream, I gotta know what else to put in it. And I don't know if I want to put lemon on my face. Like, what does the lemon do? Like, I'm scared to put the acid on there, you feel me? As I want to say scared, but I'm curious as to what lemon juice is going to do to the skin, knowing that it's acidic. And apparently you could take the banana peel and it's good for your gums. Or you can just take it and rub it in your mouth. It's a brightener. So what? It'll make you look brighter? Like if you dark skin, it's gonna lighten you up? All right, now I'm just trying to get the extra banana shit out my beard. Oh. Hopefully I got all that banana off my face. look good. We over here talking about lemons, and somebody named Lemon Zyme just joined. That's funny. All right. Step two.
Good
What
morning,
up?
Sandra.
Morning, morning. How we living?
We are making it through. Um, no, so the face cream thing, if you wanted to do it, you would need a carrier oil and then add your banana to it. Honey is really, really good. Or you can add some sugar or salt and turn it into like a banana salt or sugar scrub.
You just
Stick
add
that
salt
bad boy in
to
the
it and it
freezer.
makes it scrub?
Say again?
Well, you just add salt to it and it makes it a scrub.
If you have coconut oil, salt, and then a scent of your choosing, you've got a scrub right there. That's
Interesting.
really, yeah, you can add whatever essential oil you want for scent, but you really just need the carrier oil and either your salt or your sugar, and I think like a teaspoon of honey, depending on how big your batch is.
You over here trying to give me another business idea.
I am honestly like I've made some lip scrubs fully edible, and I was trying to sell them for a bit, which is why I've done the research into it. I just haven't had the time and money to kick it off.
Nah, I hear you. How much does it cost?
It depends on if you're trying to source things yourself or if you're trying to buy a base and then add your own twist to a pre-made base. I prefer to make it myself so it's all natural ingredients. The problem with that is that not adding preservatives means it has a shorter shelf life.
Gotcha.
So,
How long does it take to make?
the scrubs really don't take that long. Like you literally just take some oil, melted oil. I used coconut oil because, basic and easily on hand. I grabbed some coconut oil. I grabbed some sugar. I ordered some the dessert flavorings for the hard candy, essential oils to flavor it, and a little bit of honey. And I just mixed those up together, and that was that. So like it's a lip scrub that I can use whenever, lick it off, and don't have to worry about what I'm eating.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know it was that simple.
Yeah, no, it's really simple. It gets complicated when you start thinking about preservatives. Because preservatives for lips is different than ones you can put on the skin. You want to look into which ones are safe to use on the face versus the body. And then you have to start calculating how much of this preservative, how it's going to counteract with the oil I'm choosing. But for a little at home DIY, it's super duper simple. Just make a small batch.
If I make a batch, I'm trying to figure out how to bottle it and sell it.
Like I said, I've already been looking into that, all that stuff. So if you need any tips, tricks, pointers, I'm more than happy to give you the knowledge that I've found.
You say you put the banana in it too?
I don't see why you couldn't put banana in it. I feel like it would just shorten the shelf life. So that would be one you have to store in the freezer when you're not using it.
That makes sense. Yeah. I'm the type of person, if I'm doing something that's able to make money, I'm a make it with the intention of selling it. Even if it's just for my own interest.
I'm gonna show you if I could find it.
I'm upset.
But no, I've been MIA for a bit, done rebranded the name and everything.
What was your name before?
It was Gabby. You don't remember me?
You say Gabby?
I was sitting doing the songs with you.
Oh, you changed the picture.
But that's the one I made.
That's the lip scrub?
That's how I package it. It has like one of those little silicone scrubbies in it, so you don't have to dip your finger in it.
No, bad.
It's
I
super
like the
simple.
little note.
it was fun. It was really fun to do. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of it open.
Yeah, no, can't see you.
So that's what it looks like in there.
Why does it look glittery?
Because it's the sugar.
Uh,
So hold on, I just took another one out because I figure if I'm not selling it, I'm gonna use it.
what's the name of your brand?
I don't even remember right now, to be honest with you. Oh, B&W Body. I was working with my in-law. But see, the problem with no preservatives is the first time you go for it, it separates. So that's what the white you see is the coconut oil separating from everything else.
Yeah.
But as soon as you dip your finger in or whatever and mix it up, oh, where's my camera? How do I do? Can't even really see it. But it's just sugar, oil, honey, and flavor. So moisturizes and scrubs your lips. And this one tastes like watermelon. And my little silicone scrubby.
You said so called.
Yeah, it's a little silicone scrubby.
Oh,
So it's got
silicone.
bristles on it. So, but yeah, so it's really nice. You can use any carrier oil that you prefer. So that's why I said if you want to make a little test batch, I'd be more than happy to do a little DIY with you. It'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do a lip scrub. Maybe a body scrub, but I probably just want to do a moisturizer.
I started with lip scrub because it was the smaller container, so I could make a bigger batch of them to get me started. Because the way I saw it is if I got those lip scrubs, promoted it, started selling it, the profit from that, I would not only be able to buy more materials for more lip scrubs, but then I'd be able to do the bigger jars, which obviously require more inside of it, of face scrubs and body scrubs and moisturizers. Like I wanted to do body butters, the works. So I've looked into all of that.
I feel like now I understand the push for personal brands more and why people were doing them.
What happened?
I said I feel like I understand the push for personal brands in that space more now. Like the candles and all that shit.
Candle making's fun too. I bounce hobbies a lot.
No, just the fact that a lot of like people have been doing their own and at home stuff. You feel me? It's like for
Yeah.
someone who how to do it. You feel me?
It's because people have been striving to be healthier. Like our generation, I've realized we're like striving, like we're really into the self care as a whole generation. Like I love it, and a lot of us are like, you got a bunch of fancy words on the back of that container. I don't know what that means. I don't really know what I'm putting on my skin, in my body, how regulated any of this stuff is.
I'm
Plus,
upset.
honestly, DIYing it is cheaper than buying it.
No, exactly. So I'm trying to make a cup of tea. It's loose leaf tea.
What kind?
It's some loose leaf black tea. And I have this little container that I pour the tea into and sit it in my water. I cannot find that for the life of me. And it's been less than 24 hours since I used it last.
Do you have a cheesecloth?
I was about to just use a coffee, whatchamacallit.
I mean, you
But
could. I don't see why you
I'm
couldn't
getting
steep it
annoyed
that
though,
way.
because I have an item that specifically, it's the only thing the shit is used for. Where is it at?
Yeah, no, I don't see why you can't steep it that way, though. Just hold it over your cup, put the leaves in it, and then slowly pour your water in.
No, I'm about to just wrap it up inside of it and sit it in the cup.
I mean, you could do that too. Tie it up with some twine. Isn't that technically a tea bag?
You feel me? I think I put way too much damn tea in here though.
No such thing. Okay, maybe that's a little bit. That's
It's
a
a
little much
lot
for
for
it.
this small ass cup. It's about to be strong as hell.
I've been wanting to get into teas because of the benefits, and I just love me a hot cup of something in the morning and at night, and I can't be drinking as much coffee as I have.
See, I used to drink tea every day since I was like 12 years old. My mom didn't drink coffee and she didn't drink alcohol. So like at night, she would want a cup of herbal tea. and I was the nigga making it, so I became the nigga drinking it.
My friend's mom is really into like herbal stuff, and so she's the one who put me on loose leaf teas and like specific blends to help with your skin or to help with energy or to help with like menstrual issues. And I was like, no way, until I tried it and I'm like, oh my God, hold up. There might be something to this.
Yeah, no, you get a tea for pretty much everything.
Yeah, when my diabetes was really out of control and I didn't have any medicine, I needed to go make another appointment. I took ginger, turmeric, and lemon, I think, and I boiled it and just made the tea. So not even loose leaves. Like I boiled the actual food stuff and made teas out of it.
Yeah, no, you could do that too. Usually, if I boil anything, I'll take a lemon, some lime, some ginger, and some black pepper and red pepper. Actually, apparently, is good for blood flow and your respiratory, opening
In
you
your
up.
tea? Wouldn't it make it like give it a kick?
Hell yeah! I can't say it don't. Yeah, some lemon peel, some orange peel, some lime, some black pepper. Just you feel me, like a teaspoon. Black pepper,
Have,
some
do
crushed
you
red pepper, and I'll do like a whole pot of water, like a big
Where
pot.
do you live? Are there like lime bushes?
I'm in Cali, so I'm sure there's some somewhere.
Get the leaves. So take the leaves, clean them obviously, and then boil the leaves, and it makes the best. Lime leaf tea is a childhood staple.
Okay.
When I had lived in Louisiana and saw a lime bush for the first time since I was a child, my husband thought I was so weird going in. Like I knocked on them people's door. I was like, "Can I take some leaves from your tree?" And they were like, okay, sure, weird person." And he was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You will see, you will see."
So, yeah, we about to have some tea.
I cleaned them off. I let them dry out. I basically made my own little loose leaf tea, if you think about it, because I crushed them up after they dried. It was a good day, good day.
Yeah, I'm just now starting to use loose leaf stuff. I had a homie who moved to Japan actually, but he put me on with this. It's a loose leaf green tea. And I swear there was another one. Yeah, this right here is a loose leaf green tea as well. And I had never heard of this. This is called which one call it? Bang bang powder tea because of the shape of the actual kernels of the tea.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've been drinking these two, and then this one recently. This right here kind of strong, low key. That's another reason I said, "Whoa, that's a lot." It is low key kind of strong.
You know, this might be a shallow reason to be into tea, but like the aesthetic of it is so pretty too. You have like all the pretty teapots and the cups and the strainers. You got the pretty little stirring spoon specifically for it. And then just having jars, like a shelf full of jars of loose leaf tea is just, it's so pretty.
See that doesn't it doesn't do anything for me.
I'm just saying, for me, I'm like, not only is it beneficial and it tastes good, but it's so pretty.
Oh,
Until I get my funds in order, and this man is gonna be sick of me. I'm gonna be like, I got a new tea blend.
what you gonna make your own?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I love to DIY. I really love to DIY. Doesn't matter what it is.
we had this girl who was having a listening party. She had her own tea, and I thought it was pretty dope.
I like that mug.
Thank you.
I need to add that to my collection.
I used to have two of them. I do a podcast, and so I'll have both of these there. Offer people some green tea. I feel like I catch people so off guard. It's like I be in the house, but I work outside media and entertainment, so people meet me, And they're like, "Oh yeah, Chuck, do." And then they come one on one with me, and I'm like, "So, here's some green tea inside of Buddha. Let's talk about the world." And they're
All
like,
right,
"Who
Zen
the hell is
Master.
this nigga, dog? I thought you was a rapper. Like, I saw you at the studio. Yes, I am. Everything don't gotta be crazy."
Okay, now I want to see you in one of those like cockle shell necklaces, sitting on your yoga mat,
I'm
meditating.
not wearing one of those necklaces. I'm not a fan. They're ugly.
Why?
Look, here we go.
Okay, okay, then can you put one in your hair with like the little colorful metal metallic twine? Just put one around one lock. One lock.
Silly. Oh, we can do the yoga mat, no problem. Shit, I need to go sit my ass on somebody yoga mat right now.
Oh, I need to start doing yoga. I've been starting to go to the gym and stuff. That's part of why I've been MIA, because I've had a loss in the family and I was in my head in a bad way. So I'm like, I need to find a healthy way to cope.
No, most definitely. Sorry to hear that.
It was a long time coming. It was my grandma, but it still weirdly hurts, you know?
Nah, grandmas are important.
But anyway, new topic before I get emotional.
I just started my certification for yoga, 200 hours.
Okay, okay. You gonna do a subscribers only live? Lead us in like some daily yoga?
Just fuck around and might.
Not me throwing out ideas for free.
Ain't nothing I ain't already thought of. You feel me? Oh, nothing I ain't already thought of. I've been thinking about leading and instructing yoga for like 3, 4 years now.
That's what's up. If you did it and I had this, the spare change to subscribe, I'd be there.
If I
I'd
did it
have
for
a child
subscribers,
climbing on my back, but I'd be there.
like, I would probably do once a week. I don't know. I'll probably do tiers. You feel me? Join a session, just $5. Join. I don't know. I'll figure it out. You feel me? I just now started getting the certification.
I mean, people will go to the gym on lives, and I've told them, I'm like, if y'all sat here, you could monetize this. Like, I'm not saying everybody needs to be in pursuit of money, but I'm like, at the same time, you guys are sitting here on lives with groups. You're being a personal trainer, so leave the more in-depth things to subscribers only. Be like, I will do, lives with just a small group. So I could guide all of you through a workout with me. Like the classes where you go in person, but long distance.
No, they even have online instructors in classes where it would be like 20 people. And I know this woman who does online workouts like I think like 3 days a week. She does an online class with the trainer and she pays this nigga a monthly fee to be a part of his shit. And he's at
That's
home
good money
on.
too. I used to babysit for a personal trainer. She would make like 150 to 200 a session. That was an hour long session. Yes, please. I will work out all day for that cash.
Silly. And that's another thing. There are people who are personal trainers who work out 3 times a day. Miss me with all that, cuz like I'll train you. I ain't doing the exercise 3 times today.
If
If
you're
I do,
doing it
I'll
on
do
TikTok,
one set. What are you talking about?
if you're doing it on TikTok, you're gonna work up a sweat leading them through it. But a personal trainer in person don't gotta do it with you. They show you how to do it real quick, and then all right, you know what you're doing.
No, 100. No,
She
but
used to
doing
get me so
I
mad
do
though
sweat.
because she'd sit there and be like, "All right, we're gonna count your reps, Gabby. One, one, one. I just need 10 out of you. Two, one. Like, ma'am, ma'am,
No, that's how you do it. You trick the brain.
it don't trick me. It makes me mad."
Yeah, because you're thinking about being mad. Just think about the number. I know, like, if I'm doing a workout, if I want to make sure I hit all of them or more, I'm gonna start at 10 or 15. Or say I gotta do 15, I'm gonna just be like, all right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fuck. 5, dog. 5, 5, 5, 5. All right, 4, 3, 2,
What I've been
1.
doing is
Trick the brain.
I've been putting on songs I like, so like the ones that really make you want to move around and dance and jam. And I'll go and I'll be like, I will do this until the song is over. That's how I've been timing myself.
I hear that. Or I just won't count.
Do it till it hurts and then stop.
Not hurts till I can't burn out. Because usually for
Do
me,
it till it
when
hurts.
stuff hurts, it's usually just starting to hurt. Like I can definitely do more. It's just uncomfortable.
No, I meant like arms shaking. Time to cut it. Time to cut it.
Yeah, and I won't go that far either though.
Oh, so I'm
Once
doing too
my
much.
body starts doing this shit, I hate that feeling.
So what you're telling me is I'm doing too much.
Nah, some people like it. Some
I
people
don't like it. I come home and I'm like,
they
oh,
physically can't. Me, I'm like in between. In between. It's like if it hurts, that doesn't mean I have to stop. If I can still do the motion, I just gotta slow down. Cool. Once I start, all right, I'm good.
that's the level like I jumped in on. My friend was just like, don't do every machine in the gym. I'm like, why not?
No,
Why,
that
why
part's true.
not?
But the thing is, sometimes I will. I'll be like, fuck it. I'm just about to do full body for the next 3 days. Just so you can get over it.
But that's my thing. Like, I don't like the, oh, arm day, leg day. Oop, I skipped leg day. I'm like, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna do a small little thing of everything because I'm not trying to lose weight. I just want to tone a little bit. So
No,
I'm gonna do everything. I'm not gonna do too much anymore.
even when I did start having my leg day, back day, chest day, I still be like, all right, I'm about to hit a little abs real quick. All right, I'm about to hit my hips real quick. Like, if my workout wasn't long or hard, I'm gonna do more than what I came here to do.
I feel like the way I do it works for me too because then I'm not thinking about, oh, this works out this muscle or this targets this. I'm like, I hit everything, which means everything in me got hit at least once. I should be good.
Yeah, and I never liked working out that way either. It's like for me, working out for me was always like it started off because it was something to do, right? And then because it felt good. So it's like I'm never really that pressed about, oh, this has to be like this has to be like that. Like, nah, dog. As long as I'm working my body and staying healthy, that's the goal. I will say this. The one muscle group that I do be like, all right, then you gotta get that. I be trying to build my chest. That's the only muscle group that I'm like focused on. Everything
Trying to
else
get
is
that
like,
beach body.
it'll go. I guess. I don't know. It's just I know for a fact I used to have a bigger chest. I used to do a lot of calisthenics. And the first thing I noticed when I shrank was my chest got smaller. And then the second was my biceps.
No, I
If I work my arms, my biceps will get bigger. I feel like my chest don't be getting bigger.
I used to be thicker, so like right on that fine line between thick and fat. And then I had my kids and dropped weight. And then I was like, I don't like little loose skin. I don't like how tiny I'm getting because it like diabetes eats your muscles. And I was like, I don't like it. Like I'm weak now. I used to be able to lift this with no problem. Now I'm struggling. I need it back.
No, I
I
hear
don't need
you
the
on
weight
that.
back. I need the muscle back. And I'm like, I'm not gonna look at a scale because it's not about weight. I want to feel good in the skin I'm in. That's it.
I don't even think about weight. 'Cause my weight barely fluctuates. Even when I can physically see the muscle, either gain or depletion, I still weigh the same. I'll look skinnier and weigh 3 pounds less. I'll look 15
Seriously?
pounds smaller and only be 3 pounds less. Or I'll look like I gained 20 pounds and I weigh exactly what the fuck I did before I started lifting.
Because you lost fat and gained muscle. Muscle's heavier.
It's just
Yeah, but
annoying,
he
dog.
looks amazing.
I'm not complaining about it because I look
That's the
fine.
problem. You look amazing. So
It's
we're
just
trying. So how can I'm 6'1", 6'2" ish.
really annoying. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I don't really
And how
fluctuate.
much do you weigh?
Like 168.
Lovely. I'm 1 feet. So I need to gain 10 pounds. Lovely.
Bro, I have not.
10
I've weighed
pounds, and then I look good.
since I was
Wonderful.
18.
I
I've
can
never
do
weighed
that.
more than
I
100
can do
pounds.
that.
See, it's different for men though, because like we gain so much water weight as women too.
That's because you be carrying around those goddamn water cups and drinking water all day. We're
I mean,
dehydrated, and then we drink water twice a day or 3 times a day.
no, it's that women just naturally hold on to more water.
Are
Like,
you sure?
men can cut out soda and drop some pounds. A woman cuts out soda and she's got to work with it too.
Hmm.
It's not a complaint. It's just something I've noticed and heard about a lot. So, um,
Where I came from, where I don't work out anymore because I'm old, right? But when I did work out when I was young, the women were the hardest workers. Y'all girls would just kick ass. Like y'all be at the boxing gym, just fucking over there, just middle class kicking ass. Boom, 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 boom. And y'all all look fit still. And guess what we are? Lazy and old. Just throwing
Honestly,
that out there on
just
yeah,
dedication and how long you do it. But I could be
it
wrong.
is.
I don't know. I know people who'd be mad at me because I don't hit the gym for weeks, and you could hardly.
I don't. But you throw weight around very well. That's the issue.
yeah,
No,
that's
I'm saying people who be
genetically
hitting the
how you
gym are
carry
sorry.
your weight.
Yeah, you carry yourself fucking extremely well. I'm like, how big is this guy? Oh, right around the corner, easy.
Yeah, no, for I'm pretty short, so like as soon as I start putting on some weight, it is very noticeable.
On the
Um,
hips, on the tips.
I wish it was on the hips, but
It's not.
but that's the thing. So like when I do tone, I think I need to like focus on the areas that I really, really actually want to deal with. So maybe the general approach isn't working for me. But I don't know. Like on one hand, I want to tone up, but on the other hand, I really do just want to be stronger. Like when I got my gym membership, I told my husband like my goal is to be able to take all 3 of our kids on my back and walk a mile.
Absolutely not.
If there's
Absolutely
ever
not.
an
Like a
emergency,
bunch
I
of
want to be able to
hoodlums,
carry all 3 of them out of
spider
this house.
monkeys.
How
Fuck
old are
that.
they?
I got one 11-year-old. She
Six,
was
five,
not
and
jumping
two.
on my back. That girl's as tall
Six,
as I
five,
am.
and two.
Yeah.
So
Uh-uh.
that's what, like a cool 120 pounds altogether.
Roughly,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not that big of a goal.
Three
Yeah, so
hundred
I
pounds
can carry,
upstairs,
I carry all
and
three
you're
of them.
just walking, ma'am.
See?
That's a goal.
I want to be able to. Right now, I can't even lift my damn self up. I cannot do a single pull up. Okay?
Not many women can.
There's
I
not.
used to be the push up
Yeah,
queen.
don't feel bad about that one. Not many women can.
I'm pretty sure the average American man can't do a fucking pull up.
Really?
But I want to. I want to.
Okay, well, it's
I
going to
want to
take
be up
it's
in there
going to
like
take
some
some
GI
time.
Jane and be like one
You're gonna,
handed, one hand behind my back.
it's different muscles. It's different muscles, you crazy person. What in the world were you thinking?
Over 50%
So
of
if
American
you
men
could have
most
cut down
likely
all
can't
our
do.
bullshit like an hour and a half ago if you told us your goal. So you want to do a pull up.
I want to do a lot of things, okay? That's my problem. I want to do too much too
So
fast.
how about a pull up or two?
I'm gonna sit
We
for
can do
getting
that
to
for
10
you.
push-ups right now. Smaller goals.
No,
I'm gonna be happy with 10
no,
right
no,
now.
no, no, no. Because they're both the same.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Push-ups are definitely easier than pull-ups.
Did you say push-ups are definitely? Yeah, push-ups are definitely easier than pull-ups.
So you start by doing push-ups. If you
No, you
can't do
start
10
by doing
pull-ups, you
pull-ups.
do 10 knee push-ups. You feel me?
No, you
You
start
do
by
10
doing.
knee push-ups every day
No,
for the
you
next
wide wing it.
3 months.
You wide
Yes,
wing
coach.
it, and
I'm
you
on it,
do a
coach.
couple. You do a
I'll
couple
update you on
pull-ups.
that.
Dog, no. If you can't do a pull-up already, I'm not going to tell you to do 10 push-ups and then try to do a pull-up. I'm going to tell you to do 10 push-ups every day for the next 30 days. Or do 10
No,
push-ups
no.
every day for the next 2 weeks. And then do 10 push-ups 3 times a day every day for the next 2 weeks. And
Give
then
him
you
a
might be
deck of
able to do
cards.
a pull-up.
Give him
He said
give him
a
a deck.
pull-up.
Give him a deck of cards.
But
Dog, You really
Now,
think that? Please listen to yourself. You think that the average woman is going to do push-ups for a
I was
couple of
just
minutes
curious if you
and
knew
then
what
be
that
able to
meant.
do pull-ups?
Yeah. What?
No,
No.
no, hell no.
Hell no.
Like we just got done saying, most women can't do a pull-up, and a lot of women can't do
No,
a
I'm
push-up.
gonna do the
So if you
pull-ups.
can't
What in the
do a
world?
pull-up or a push-up, it's going to take you more than a week or two to develop the strength to do a pull-up.
No, it won't.
so what I'm going to do now is I'm about
You're
to try
right.
to do 10 push-ups a day. You hear me,
No, it
Jules?
won't. One
I'm gonna try to
pull,
do 10
one pull
push-ups a
up, one
day.
push up. If
And
you
in a
commit
month,
yourself,
I'm
you can
gonna
do it.
update you and tell you if I've increased that number or if I've quit.
You'll have increased it if you don't quit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep you updated. I'm gonna just pop on your live in the middle of your discussion and be like, I did 15 today.
Are you do 15?
Wonderful, and then bust my balls too. I
We'll
would
be
love
talking
to. I
about
would love
something.
to hear his reaction.
I'm gonna be like, here's the answer to the prompt, but also I did 15 today. And then I'm gonna drop.
Exactly. You see that bullshit right there? Yeah, I see you. Yeah.
You gonna get sick of me, Jewel.
Not really. Not if
I
you
don't
actually
think he
doing it.
will. No, I think he's in for it.
I'm gonna do it. It's still the beginning of the month. I still got time, so I'm gonna hit you up again
All
with
the
the
time in the world.
progress in July. Let's see how much I can do in July, because right now I struggle with 5.
Fuck you guys. Okay, so I will start doing
Because at
5
my
push-ups a day,
I can do
4
over
push-ups,
100
3
push-ups
push-ups, and everything
straight.
like that. It's something gentle. I will start light, but I should probably get fitter if I'm gonna go to Florida.
Strong
Uh,
man.
at my best, I could do over 100 push-ups straight. When I
Nah.
started learning how to do push-ups, I could only do like 10. And I'm pretty sure I did 2 sets of 5. So for my first 2 weeks, I did 10 push-ups. And then my next week, I did 15. And then the next week, I did 20. And then I wanted to do 25 and I couldn't. So I had to do 2 sets to get 25.
You
That's
know what
some
I'm gonna do?
bullshit. Who was your guy?
You know what I'm gonna do?
Myself, nigga, I was 12.
I was about to say, who the fuck? That was yourself? That's
Myself.
dedication.
You
All
feel
right,
me?
Jewel.
That's
By
dedication.
Within
Thanksgiving.
3 months, 4 months, I was doing 100 push-ups every single day. By
That's
that
hell yeah.
summer, I was doing 100 push-ups straight.
So I had my guy. He was
By
training me.
Thanksgiving, I'm gonna
So we
challenge you to a
would
push-up
do,
contest.
yeah, we would do a like a card, like a what the fuck am I looking for? A deck of cards. So it would either be 10 push-ups if it was anything, or it would be whatever number it was. And when we get through 52, he'd make us fucking backtrack that. You know how
Do
many
you
push-ups
accept
that
my
is?
challenge, Jewel?
It's like
No, I got you.
372 push-ups in a deck of cards.
All right, bro. But the point is, if you can't do 10 push-ups, you have to start small, incrementally, and build. You feel
Oh,
me? He
absolutely.
can't do 20 push-ups, so why would he start
Perfect.
with a deck of
Dude, get
cards?
on your knees and then start doing those half ones. Dude,
And
they
that's what I
actually
was
work out for
saying before you
people.
started talking over me, nigga. It was saying to do half push-ups.
I'm not doing half push-ups. I can do
Dude, what are
5
you doing with that
normal
beard?
push-ups, and that's my limit. So I'm gonna make sure to do that every day now instead of just once in a while and see how it goes.
If you do it every
You'll see
day, I
results.
promise you, within a month, you'll be able to do twice
You'll
as
see
many.
results, yeah.
That's where everybody fails. It's the consistency. You feel me? It's the consistency
Exactly.
of the
Because
small
I
wins.
can do whatever this gentleman would like me to do right now. I could probably do 10 pull-ups. But if I can't do it consistently over like a long amount of time, say 6 months or so, where do you see the build? You don't.
But see, that's why I can't focus on weight loss because I'm one of those that gets really bad once there's a
You're
scale
gonna
in
get
front of me.
heavier.
I'm weighing myself every morning, every night. I'm like hyper obsessing over how much I'm eating to where I'm like, I had a lot of calories this morning. I'll skip lunch and like it gets unhealthy. That's why I'm like, this time I'm focusing on strength. I want to just get stronger. I'm not going to look at the scale.
Some of the sexiest women that come into my work when I'm bartending and they give me a big old hug, they're beefy as shit. Beefy. I'm not kidding. like squeeze me and I'm like, oh yeah.
What are you using to moisturize? I have that too. The day and night cream.
That's funny. Yeah.
Sorry, I got excited. But yeah, I have it too.
I've been using this for like a year. It's really the only shit that I use. That and hot water.
If I don't have that, I use just honestly coconut oil. I am very much a coconut oil girly for everything.
Yeah, no, I keep it mad simple. That and my banana peel. That's it.
When I was younger, my dad taught me that you splash your face with hot water first, soap it up, wash it, then rinse it, and then always rinse with cold water and pat dry. And I haven't really had like an issue with like acne or something in my teenage years. I feel like there's something to what he was saying.
Yeah, no, my mom always told me to just use hot water and a clean rag. And I'm pretty sure she used to say Dove was okay. But the main thing was don't use stuff on your face. Like scented stuff and stuff with a bunch of chemicals in it. It's like you don't even use that shit.
Yeah. No,
If it's
that's why
soap that you use on your body, don't put it on your face. If it has fragrance in it, don't put it on your face.
I love the coconut oil because I put a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit, and moisturize my face, and it is, it does what it needs to do.
No, exactly. But that's why I use that and I just do a little dollop real quick. And that was in the last year that I even started doing that. I used to have this aloe vera face stuff.
I love aloe vera. I hate the taste of it, but it's really, really good for you.
Aloe vera water is my shit.
Not aloe vera water. I'm talking you take the plant and you eat a chunk of that slime on the inside.
Yeah, I've never tried it. I would. I'm not opposed.
It's the slimy texture that gets you, but it is so, so good for you.
Like
I've heard apple cider vinegar is really good to drink a little bit of every day, but
I had heard that, and then I saw something that said it's not because it's acidic and it turns your stomach into like a playground for bacteria that likes acid or something.
ooh, I never heard that part. Because I got a bottle to make some collard greens, and I was like, it's kind of just sitting here. I want to use it, but also, yuck. It don't taste good.
Who told me to use it to clean my dreads, and then afterward, I just had a bottle sitting around, so I just started sipping it.
Maybe I should do a deep clean of my hair with it. I'm about to put some braids in though, so maybe next time. I'm excited. I just got some new hair. I can't wait to braid my stuff down and look human again.
I don't know what to put on.
Clothing if you're going out in public.
I'm not going in public, but
Clothing if you're gonna be in the camera.
I don't want to sit in my robe all day.
Lounge pants and a comfy tee.
I already put on some cargos,
Oh, see, you getting dressed.
but I think I'm gonna just put on a. Actually, no, I'm gonna put on a t-shirt for real. Yeah, I'm actually putting on an outfit.
Yeah, see, my idea of getting dressed in the morning is stealing a clean pair of my husband's pajama pants and a clean shirt.
It really just depends on what I got planned, and I do plan on making some videos today, so I was planning on putting on the shirt. The pants part was unnecessary, and I definitely would never go anywhere in all camo. But I wanted to wear this jacket.
I see you, fashion icon, beauty icon, rapper, and podcast Zen master. Okay, not even a triple that. That's like what, 4? 5?
Ugh. I be trying to tell people I be working, man. Once they see me push out and you feel me, everything aligns, and a lot of motherfuckers gonna be salty.
I have my days where I'm like, I'm just sitting in the house. I'm not going nowhere. Nobody's gonna see me, but I'm gonna get dressed up. I'll put on like a cute little sundress or something, put my makeup on, do my hair. And that's when you get photos like my profile picture, because I was just feeling myself one day. Decided to be a little extra. But I had somebody tell me this morning on a panel that you look high maintenance. Like, I'm sorry. Because why would I take a picture and use it as my profile picture if I'm looking like a gremlin?
know.
Why would I do my fresh rolled out of bed head as my face to the world? Like I don't understand the logic, but if it works for you, it works for you. But yeah, then he went into disparaging women in general, so I had to skedaddle.
Disparaging.
Yeah, apparently all women are gold diggers and high maintenance and we expect too much. And I was like, okay, I'm not arguing with a stranger. That's your prerogative to think that way. Little man, get down. Your panel last night was interesting.
I was pissed.
Do you come up with your own prompts or?
Yeah. For the most part, I mean, come up with not necessarily my questions, you feel me? Like, not stuff that I'm necessarily wondering about, but based upon things I see people have opinions on, or other chats that I've come across that have had a lot of engagement. So, yes, I make the question in the prompt background. No, it's not always original from my own mind.
Right. No, I get you. It's inspired by other conversations.
That the question that last night about are black women the least desirable? I didn't ever think about that shit, dog. And whether or not I'm one of the most desirable races in the world, I don't give a fuck. Like,
I was just stuck on the fact that y'all had said, you're not talking about fetishizing, you're talking about true desirability, and everybody was stuck on, I look good, women want me. And I was like, that's.
But not even just the women, because once I switched it to are black women the least desirable, one of the women, she said, I mean, black women are beautiful. They have beautiful hair, beautiful skin. Of course, we're desired. Okay, cool. And then another woman just came straight in and said, black people are beautiful. We're gorgeous. Okay. These are all the physical aspects of the being, though, dog.
No one's denying that we are kind of good looking. I love me a little melanin. But we're talking about, would you look at that person and your first thought be, I could wife that or I could husband that up?
And so
I don't know if it's just me, but you froze.
equals physicality because I desire equals physicality because I desire to live to old age. I desire wealth. I desire to live to old age. I desire wealth. I desire health. And I don't want to sleep with any of those things. I desire health. And I don't want to sleep with any of those things.
You froze, so I missed.
Once I said that,
I missed the first part of your point because you froze for a second.
Oh, I said people were saying that I needed to change the wording of it because they said that the word desire or desirable lends itself to a physical lens and a sexual viewpoint. And I said, why though? Because if I desire health, if I desire wealth, if I desired food, I desire money, like I'm not trying to sleep with it. It has nothing to do with what it looks like physically. I'm not looking at $1,000 and saying, wow, that is so aesthetically pleasing and I desire it. So why do you guys automatically associate smex and physicality with the word desire?
Like, that's just one aspect of being desirable. And everyone.
People were saying I was tripping, but I needed to change the wording of the question. No, motherfucker, change your mind. Stop being sexual.
I was about to say, or they could broaden their horizons and change their viewpoint.
And they're like, well, you're talking about black people. I'm sure if you put this same question in another racial context, the other race is going to think about whether or not they're attractive as well. Okay, that's fine. I'm still going to ask the same question. Why does the word desirable equal physical? And unfortunately, I'm black and I'm talking to a bunch of black people, and a bunch of black people just brought up the physical aspects. So I don't really give a fuck about correcting the racial side of it, or if white people think the same way too. I actually don't really care if the majority of white people sexualize white people. That whatever. I'm talking to black people right now.
No, I honestly feel like if you changed it to our YT men more desirable, you would get more traits like, oh, stability, oh, financially, oh, emotionally, yada yada. You would get a lot of different answers. It wouldn't jump straight to reproducing.
You feel me?
It's wild when you think about it.
And that's what I was trying to, you feel me? And this is why just now when you said the last night's topic, you were there, I was big annoyed because I started off just curious into how people would respond. A woman came on and said, I bet you all these dudes is about to start leading with they junk and the fact that women want to sleep with them. And she was right. You feel me? I didn't expect her to be wrong. I wasn't surprised. And she was right. You feel me? I didn't expect her to be wrong. I wasn't surprised. But during that conversation, I started literally saying, all right, y'all talking about desire and the physical aspect of what you look like. But is that something respected? Are you respected in the same aspect and regard? Are you liked? Like, are your thoughts, opinions, and emotions considered when someone looks at you sexually, dog? And then once we went to black women, it was the same responses. And that's when I got upset because I did not expect the same level of one-dimensional conversation.
Yeah, it was really shallow. I was there for Mr. Muscles coming in, talking in circles, and stuck on that one point and couldn't answer yes or no.
He made me mad as hell because yeah, it made me annoyed because we couldn't move past the physical aspect and the immediate like verbiage of things. I'm like, dog, what's the next point, or what's the further iteration of this? Like, expand the conversation.
I had tried to with my response, and then I got crickets. So I was like, hey.
Yeah, there are at least 3 times where I said I'm gonna just shut the fuck up since nobody gets it or nobody understands. And I was like, I feel like at this point you guys are choosing
To be
the
obtuse.
easier like side of the conversation to keep it simple. There's no way in fuck you guys don't understand the point I'm trying to make. Like,
Unfortunately, I don't have that much faith in humanity at this point. Like, I really wonder how we got this far sometimes because, man, I thought we were living in 3D, but maybe not.
by the time I went to sleep, I just chalked it up and was like, I don't know if you was here. There's this woman on here called Corset Comedian or Corseted Comedian, and she was just laughing at me, and she was like, I get where the host is coming from. And she was like, she literally called people dumb, or she said people were slow or something like that. She was laughing. And she was like, I'm just laughing because everyone's so slow on here, whatever the case. And then we started talking about there was a woman who was Trinidadian saying that she didn't want to date black men, right? And then a black man got on there and he stated his opinion that all races have an affinity towards black men. And she said, I don't like black men. And I'm like, dog, this is his opinion about whether black men are desirable or not. And then she was like, well, you can't say that all women desire black men when I don't desire one. And that became the conversation for like 3 minutes. And then once it came back to her, she said, well, I would consider marriage and dating a black man. Then why the fuck did you interrupt him to make sure he man? Then why the fuck did you interrupt him to make sure he understood you don't like black men so hard when that wasn't even his point?
Wild. That is
And
wild.
then she said she liked Syrian men. And so we started trying to go over where is Syria. Somebody asked, is it in Africa? And then we ended up talking about the Middle East. And I brought up the fact that the Middle East did not exist for hundreds of years. It was either Asia or it was Africa. And then to fit certain agendas, we started describing that landmass as the Middle East. Motherfucker said, what do you mean the Middle East doesn't exist? Like, I was like, dog, like, can you hear? Do you understand what I am trying to say? Like, you feel me? And that's when the corseted comedian lady, she was just rolling. Because at this point, I was already pissed. Because we went backwards to talk about why the lady didn't like black men. And then she said, but I would marry a black man. So I'm like, why the fuck didn't you just let homie finish what he was saying? Like, and now we talking about different races of people. And I'm trying to further the conversation from just black people or black men and talk about the world. And part of the reason we're having this conversation about who's desirable and who isn't, because if we talk about Egyptians being desirable and Asians being desirable and Africans being desirable, like that's a whole different conversation once you realize they're kind of all the same people.
I'm
But
not
we
gonna
couldn't
lie.
even get to that point.
When I'm on your panels and you start getting frustrated with people, I have to mute myself because I be cackling. I'm disrespectful with it, so I have to mute because you be sitting there like, dog, are you like, I'm just trying to say, and I'm like, oh.
And some people be telling me I need to chill or whatever the case may be. And it's like, I'm not going to tell you no. But for anyone who gets on and stays on for a long time or even just 30 minutes, they'll understand that I'm just trying to further the conversation. And I'm only getting frustrated because of the level of idiocracy I have to deal with. Like, I feel like I'm having to spoon and force feed people.
But that
And
is why I can't host panels like that because the way my temper runs is I would be like, all right, shut this shit down. Screw all of y'all. Stay dumb.
and people be like, you gotta be able to, bro. If I am literally saying, like last night, I literally was like, all right, let's keep the conversation going forward. Like I understand the point that you just made, and then we ended up back on it like twice. And then somebody was like, but you keep saying da da da, and I was like, before I started speaking, I said, all right, I'm going to address what was just said, and I'm going to respond to how. I'm going to address what was just said, and I'm going to respond to how I take it personally. But why are you saying what you would have did when this is?
I think the problem is a lot of people, no matter their race or background, they listen not to understand, but to respond.
And
So
that
they're
is
not taking
definitely a
in
problem.
anything you say. They are just, oh, he said this word. Now I can latch onto that, and I can talk on this for 3 minutes.
And I be telling people to shut up. It's like there was a dude who came on last night who was like, "How do we fix the problem?" And I hate when people get on and start asking their own question. Like he was like, "All right, so y'all talking about black men and black women, but it's like as men, how are we even going to tell women how to be women?" The question is, are black women are black women less desirable? No one is telling black women to do shit. We're asking you your opinion on black women. Like, you feel me? Like, we're not trying to teach them. We're just trying to understand the mindset of people around it. Why are you coming in asking a question? Answer the question. Like,
I must say, my
want to have a
personal,
conversation.
and it might not be a popular one, but it's one I've spoken to with a few friends before, is that when it comes to the societal totem pole, black women are at the bottom.
And this is why I got so pissed last night, because we had a bunch of black people on there. All the women said, we're attractive. All the men said, I love black women. Everyone said black women are the most desired and most desirable.
But then you sit here and say, I'm not going to date that black woman because she's too dark skinned. I'm not going to date her because she's too loud. I'm not going to date her because this, that, and the next. She's too black. She's
And I'm not
aggressive.
sitting here
We
telling
get
people
labeled
to
with the
feel
stereotypes. So that's why I'm like,
way, but I'm telling them that they have to address the reality of the world. Because if the reality of the world is that black women are this desirable and are super desired, then why aren't more black women married? You feel me? And I'm not saying this as in black women are doing something wrong, but we have to be realistic in why we feel the way that we do. We feel they're desired because we think so. But in the society we live in on a mass range, they don't.
that's
You sit
exactly
there
what I
saying black women are so beautiful. Everybody loves black women and what they look like so much that they want to mimic them. They like what black women look like so much they want to mimic it so they don't have to deal with the black woman. Like,
They want a strong black woman, but not too strong.
but they don't want a strong black woman. They want the physical appearance of a strong black woman.
But also don't have too much muscles because that's manly.
You know, it's like I'm not telling you black women aren't desired or they aren't desirable. I'm telling you that the society we live in at large does not look at black women the same way that black people look at black women.
And I feel like it goes into
It
Like,
don't
I
even
don't
matter.
know if it's the rest of the world or if it's just America, but like I feel like that goes into racism. Like black traits were not you weren't gonna make it if you had black traits. Closer to whiteness was closer to success. So I'm wondering if a lot of that is some fun little leftovers from that line of thinking.
It most definitely is.
But people don't like to talk about that because then why are we bringing that into everything?
And another thing that made me mad, it was actually, and this is how I know I don't be tripping. Like I said, there was two women on last night. One of them literally said people are being stupid and this conversation is getting dumb. And when we started talking about the fact that the Middle East is actually Asia and Africa, she chimed in to speak about, you feel me, the geography of the world and stuff. And then she got the fuck off because she said, y'all are dumb. The next woman who came on was speaking about the media, and they said that's movies, that's TV. She also said that a large portion of the world has never had a face-to-face interaction with an African American person.
Right, so that media is all the exposure to us that they have. Not only
And
that, but that media shapes how we grow up. That is why it's so important for us to have representation in media. You can't have it both ways. Oh, it's not real, it's just TV. But represent
so
us. Which
30
one do you
seconds
want?
after she made that point, she said, I'm sorry that I'm intelligent and trying to further the conversation, and she dropped.
Oh man, see, I definitely need to stick around longer because that I would have had fun chopping it up with.
And
That I,
so when people say I'm responding any type of way, I don't even care because the two people who were actually following my train of thought got so annoyed with the lack of intellectual conversation that they dropped.
part of me
I
has really
can't drop. I'm the host.
part of me has really missed having conversations like this, but it's responses like what you've been getting that make me go, you know what? You can lead
Never
a horse to
fucking
water
mind.
and that motherfucker can still go out of dehydration.
You feel me? I was like, I literally on the live last night. I was like, I'm done. I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm gonna stop casting pearls among swine because nobody's even trying to understand the point, but they're trying to respond to what I'm saying and missing the fucking point. Like, and there was a man on. His name was Coach, and he came in and he came in and he started talking, and then somebody like said something to him, and he was like, wait, what? And then he was like, but that's not what I was even trying to say. And he was like, I'm gonna say this. Before I even came into the actual discussion, I was in the comments and I said happy men's mental health month. And it turned into fuck men and no one cares about men and stuff like that. And he's like, the whole point was just to bring awareness to the month. And I think I'm gonna just be quiet and stop here. Somebody was like, what are you even talking about? And I was like, wow. His whole point is he's going to shut the fuck up because every time he talks, his point is being missed.
It's frustrating, honestly. And is that not what we ask people to do? We say, don't wait until a woman's holiday to say, what about me, to bring it up on your own. So that's what he's doing, right? He's doing what we asked him to do. So why is he now getting hate?
It's like, don't nobody care about men. And I'm like, niggas was saying that in the comments. That's crazy.
It's wild. I'm not gonna lie to you. This morning, I was very much on a fuck dudes kind of line of thought because the first panel I was invited to this morning, the dude was, I already told you, he was very disrespectful. He said some explicit things to me, like I had to give him a block real quick. And I was like, this is disgusting. This is wild. Like, where is your home training? Who taught you to talk to strangers like this? But now I wish I was feeling like a troll so I could have just told him off instead of just running away. Sir, this is my breakfast. You had yours.
I don't have the patience to troll nobody. But yeah, I definitely get upset. And afterwards, they started having a conversation about you should never get upset and yell at people on the internet and stuff or let somebody make you lose your composure or act differently. I hear you. But when it comes to, it's not even that I'm
You know
mad.
what?
I don't
It's
even
your
be
panel.
mad. I
It's
just be
your space.
irritated.
We are walking into your digital home. You can run this bad boy how you want to. If you want to sit there and turn it into what are they called? Where everybody's like throwing around the exact an echo chamber, then you can. That is your prerogative. If somebody does not like it, it is the internet. Keep scrolling, baby. You can handle it how the hell you want to. It is your platform.
I'll just be like, look. I'm not gonna get on here and start coming at people personal attacks. But if I get frustrated and I yell, nigga, it's cause I'm upset. Yes, I'm irritated. Well, why are you so irritated by a conversation? Because y'all stupid.
The only personal attacks I think I would ever give on an online platform, hey, loco, is if somebody says something hella stupid and now I'm coming at your intelligence. Or if you drop something, like, I'm not scrolling through your profile, I'm not trying to dox you and look into your stuff. I'm gonna take you down off of what's come out of your mouth. That's it.
I don't even be trying to attack people like that. I just be in such disbelief and shock by the shit that be coming into my ears. It puts me on a level of excitement that's probably like 7 and above. They're like, why is the host yelling?
I have my days where I'm like, you know what? I want violence. Let's go. I woke up and chose violence. And that is why I changed my name to what it is. Because I can be all fun. I can be cutesy. But piss me off. Piss me off on the wrong day.
I don't even be mad for real. Like you said, you see me on here go at people or when I get irritated or upset. It's literally, I'm just like, why don't you get it? Or why are you harping on this? Like, what the fuck? It's really just what the fuck? Like, I just be flabbergasted and so much. I don't know. I don't consider it being mad. I'm far from mad. You feel me? It's just like,
no, I'm very emotional. So I
enthusiastic.
I will fully admit it might not be the healthiest approach, especially in the age of social media, but I do get in my feelings. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hurt yours too.
I've gotten a little upset a couple of times where I did be like, all right, bro, take a breath and sit the fuck down. I don't know why you just let them get you beside yourself. But most of the time, it's just enthusiasm.
It's very much depending on the day for me, because usually I'll let it slide off my back like water on a duck. But then some days I'm like, you know what? Somebody needed to tell you, and clearly your mama didn't. It's not frequent, but it happens sometimes that I need to get a little mean.
I don't even be trying to be mean. If I was really saying what I thought, I'd be swearing a lot at people. Stupid. That's all I be thinking is like, what the hell is wrong with you? And can you actually hear the words that I'm fucking saying? Because nothing that has come out of your mouth is addressing what's happening. You live in la la land. Like, can you keep up?
What's the temperature like under that rock?
All right. But I'll be trying to be nice, and I don't want to insult people's intelligence.
Can I see the notebook? That is such a pretty color. Squirrel brain, sorry.
It's what you call it, a devotional.
It is such a pretty color.
But yeah, I don't want to be rude and mean, and I don't like to put myself on a intellectually superior level. You feel me? Like, partially because once you do it, people aren't going to hear shit you have to say anymore because they feel some type of way, even if it is the truth. So I just let the way that I carry myself speak for itself. And if you don't understand what I'm saying when I'm speaking plain English, you should be able to do the fucking math yourself. And if you still want to argue with me, so be it. I'm not going to talk.
But see, that's where you and I differ. You seem a lot more healed than I am. So I definitely have my days where I'm like, you know what? I'm about that. And I'm not trying to be intellectual with it. No, I'm gonna meet you at your level. I'm coming down with it. I'm gonna use small words and let you know you stupid in a way you understand.
Yeah, you're gonna know that I think you're stupid because I don't even think that what you're bringing to me is worth addressing.
You a different level of hurtful with that one though.
Right. Literally, this woman with me and this girl was texting, arguing, and what did I say? I forget, what did I say? I pretty much told her that everything she had just said was completely irrelevant. Like, well, I forget what I said. But I was like asinine. I was like, so everything that you're saying and everything that happened after this point is completely asinine and doesn't matter.
Okay, but you know what used to be really fun is when you have your vocab of the day words and when you're telling somebody off, like, imagine being so mad, but you also have to go Google what they just called you.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that's happened to me either. When I was like eighth grade through the rest of high school, people would be like, "This nigga trying to sound smart."
I'm not trying to sound nothing. I
You
just
know like, if I was trying, dog, I would have had to stop and think. Like, this came out in flow.
heard that you can't think above 4-letter words.
Yeah, I don't do it on purpose. I watch it happen sometimes. Like, I'll be talking to people and I'll see the look on their eye when they realize, like, they don't know what I just said.
Where their eyes just get glossy and you know you lost them.
You feel me? Or it's just like, you feel me? Like, they're looking at you, like, right at you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Huh?
And then the eyes soften a little bit because they go in their head to think about what they just heard.
Shush your face. Here.
But again, I don't do it on purpose. It is what the fuck it is. And that's why I said, this is one thing I've been thinking about heavily the last couple of days, is as a species, and most species are aware of a predator or a more like dominant, you feel me, species. Like, if you put a man in the room with a bear, the bear already knows it's more dominant, right? And
Right.
if you take a everyday person and put them in the room with like a brain surgeon or a doctor, from the way the person is speaking and handling themselves, the superior intelligence is going to be cleared, and the inferior intelligence is going to recognize the superiority of it automatically. You feel me? This is just something I've been thinking about this whole week, is that if you take two babies and put them in the room, you feel me? The bigger baby knows that he's fucking bigger. Like, as kids, you can see the structure between who's inferior and superior when it comes to either intelligence or strength all the time. So I'm not even gonna worry about it no more, dog. You feel me? Like, if you stupid, you fucking stupid, and you know that I'm smarter than you. So why am I even going to argue with you, nigga? Because you can tell that you don't measure up when you realize you don't understand what I'm saying. You don't know what the words are that are coming out of my mouth, and you're not even thinking about shit the same way that I'm thinking about it. That's the biggest one. I know most people are not thinking about the aspects of things that I am. You feel me? So it's like, once somebody broadens your like perspective on something, how the fuck else are you going to acknowledge them other than, wow, they're thinking differently than me? You already know.
With you, when I get to that point where I'm like, now it's time to be condescending, now it's time to just be petty, it is fully because I'm like, I know you're not going to hear anything else I say. I know you're not going to hear my message. All you going to know is that I'm hurting your feelings. Even if you don't understand what I'm saying, you know I'm hurting your feelings. And that is the goal at this point. I don't want you to hear me no more.
See, I never
found that.
purposely try to hurt people's feelings. I will know that what I'm saying is the truth, and it's probably going to hurt your feelings, but I don't do it on purpose. You feel me?
It doesn't happen
Once
often.
you do
but
that, like you said, the person's not going to hear anything that you're saying. So it's like, you might as well just shut the fuck up at this point.
No, like there was
So
a
it's like,
panel.
once I'm ready to hurt your feelings, I'm just going to shut the fuck up and let the disconnect hurt your feelings for me.
There was a panel I was on, and it was one of those like men versus women panels. I don't know why I was there. I regret it wholeheartedly. But dude came up heavy, like, oh, all women are this, that, and the next. You know, we the B word, this, that, and next. And so I asked a question. I was polite. I'm like, well, why are you jumping to that assumption? Like, I don't remember exactly what I said to him. But every time I mic'd up to say something, he was just like, nah, I don't want that B word talking to me. F her. She probably this, that, the next. And I'm just like, okay. And the man would repeat what I was trying to say. And he'd be like, yeah, bro, I feel you, but women are this, that. And I was like, you know what? Who hurt you? You need a hug, baby? You good? You okay? And that's all I did. I was just condescending for the rest of the time he was on the panel. And he was just like, oh, she yelling at me. Y'all gonna let her yell at me and talk to me that way? This F and this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not yelling at you. I don't think I'm yelling. Am I hurting your feelings right now?
When people condescend to me, I'm gonna just shut the fuck up. You feel me? And so it's like, I don't condescend to people because I'd much rather very gently and very nicely explain that I would much rather do this differently, but because of the difficulty you're giving me and the way you're responding, it lets me know that you're not ready for this.
No, with him, honestly, I was just,
It had nothing to do with me.
I could tell I was pissing him off, and that is why I continued.
Yeah, my goal is never to piss somebody off, even if it's what happens.
I
As
have my
that's never my goal. You feel me? I move from love, and if I have to inform you of your stupidity because you're asking me to, I will. If I can just, you feel me, allude to it enlighten you to it, that's better because it's making you do the work to understand you're stupid. You feel
I'm
me?
not gonna call you stupid, but I will guide you to the
To
realization
understand
that
it.
you are
Because if I help
stupid.
you understand it, then you're calling yourself stupid. And I did my job because I already realized it was stupid. If I just start calling you stupid, you're automatically on the defense and you might just for real stay stupid or say you're not.
You're gonna have somebody, are you calling me stupid? I never said those words.
I didn't say that, but if you can understand, you feel me, the disconnect in the things you're doing and saying, yeah.
Wild. Wild.
'Cause I'm a nice asshole because I don't want to be mean, but I can't stand on bullshit. So I'm gonna
I'm
make you
not.
call yourself out.
I am not a nice asshole. Get the right set of circumstances together, and I'm like, nah, you're not gonna hear me anyway. But let me hurt your feelings before you leave.
Yeah, nah. I know in a lot of the cases and situations, I can say a lot of different things. Like you said, you're gonna be googling what the fuck a nigga just said, and if I said it, I probably really meant it, and it's probably true. So I just think twice. You feel me? And I know I've hurt plenty of people's feelings just in spewing my thoughts. So as I'm careful with my tongue for that reason. You feel me? And with the fact that, like you said, they're not gonna hear you anyway. I've had people misunderstand me being nice and think I was talking shit because it pointed to a disconnect in them. Or, like I said, the inferior intelligence understands the superiority. And if I'm not ready to address it, I think you're talking down to me, and now I'm offended. Nigga, what? All I did is say I already knew that. And I
No.
didn't tell you I'm a fucking genius. I just said I already knew. You didn't ask how I already knew. I already knew because I already fucked up one time before. And I had to go read the pamphlet. And so now I know everything in the pamphlet. Like,
See, I think the reason I react this way is honestly like part of an old self-defense mechanism that I have.
started it than you first. You feel me? And so it's like I'd rather I just chill. I just chill. Just because I've had too many conversations where it's like, well, how do you know you got to do that? And I was like, nigga, because I work here. Like, oh, I didn't realize that. You feel me? Like, it's simple stuff. Like,
No, I
I
definitely
just
feel like the way I react is kind of part of my healing journey because I used to be so passive, but now I'm like, look, now I'm at that petty stage, that teenage rebellion essentially. And maybe one day I'll be healed and just be like, let me just be me and let that hurt your feelings alone. Just because you
yeah,
understand it as
you
something
gotta
better.
let them hurt their own feelings. You feel me? As if you do it, now they have someone to blame. If they're not listening to what you're saying, they're not going to look at their fallacies or fault in it. They're going to say, you're offending me or you're attacking me because of the things you're saying, or you're talking to me like I'm stupid. No, bitch, you're acting stupid. So I'm addressing you in a way I think you'll understand. Like, like I don't want to have to behave this way, but I don't think you'll get anything else.
You sit there with the I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this.
I, um, but yeah, and this is just coming from a lot of experience of being in conversations and then being like, "Are we arguing now? What happened? Where did the offense come in play?" Like,
See, but the way I'm set up, when I'm comfortable, like I am on your panel, I would probably be like, that hurt my feelings a little bit, friend. Did you mean that in a mean way? And I would give somebody time to be like, I said what I said, or no, I didn't mean it in a mean way, but I did say what I said. You know what I mean?
no, I hear you, and I like the fact that you address it that way, as that is, I do believe, a big part of it, and it just goes to speak into the defensiveness. You feel me? Of the human nature, especially if we feel as if someone is attacking us or if we're inferior to them. But if you understand who you are as a person and you are 100% confident and solid in what you have bring to the table and your person, even if someone is coming at you or attacking you, before it hurts your feelings, you're going to look at it in a lens that says, is that true? Does it apply? How do I feel? And then respond as opposed to just being defensive or being sad or being mad. You feel me? Because motherfucker might be right. You might have been tripping. You
But
feel
that's
me?
a
So
level of critical thinking a lot of people aren't on.
I understand, and this is I learned more and more about this difference between myself a lot. You feel me? Because like, if you are thinking like that, you're giving yourself the room to even understand why you were responding. You feel me? Because if they were right, where the hell do I get off on being offended? Nigga, I was the one in the wrong.
But see, that's something I've had to learn with my husband because he's on the autism spectrum, and so sometimes he'll say something and he thinks he's saying something, but the way he comes across, I'll have to straight up sit and tell him, like, baby, the way you're saying this right now, people, like, the general way that this is used is XYZ. Right now, because of the things I've been through, I am taking it as this, and I need you to stop this conversation and reaffirm that that is not what you were saying to me right now. And he'll be like, no, that's not what I meant. I'm like, okay, that's it. You don't have to fully explain what you meant. I just needed you to let me know so that I can tell my brain that that's not what he's saying. Don't hold on to that.
And I feel like that's 85% of the arguments and disagreements I've had with personal relationships and dating. Whereas like the way you took what was said is not what I was saying at all. And now you're fighting me to defend how you feel about what was said, but you misunderstood the whole point because that's not what I was saying.
Right. I feel like it's definitely helped us to have that level of communication to be like, I am taking it this way, and I'm really hoping that's not what you're saying.
And that's why I was saying for what you were saying about I'm going to respond in a way that lets you know. Sometimes it's what causes the altercation to be unsalvageable because something was said, something was reacted to, and in the reaction without full understanding, you say something that makes the other person feel the way you feel. And it's not necessarily grounded or rooted in anything that's happening. It's just, I feel like this, so I'm gonna put it on you now. You feel me? And now both of us are coming from a place of hurt feelings, emotions, or ego. And a lot of the time it's coming from a place of hurt feelings, emotions, or ego. And a lot of the time it's coming from more so ego, you feel me? Or protecting the sense of self, which is still your ego. You feel me? So once you stop trying to protect how you feel about yourself in all situations, you live life completely different and you hear things completely different. Because if I'm not worried about how I feel about my perception of myself, then I'm actually paying attention to what's going on around me and building how I decide to respond and react to things based upon what I think is best. If I'm just jumping and I'm like, yo, this person just said X, Y, and Z, and what they said is this characteristic is negative, and that characteristic applies to me, that person just said I'm negative. I don't know this person, you feel me? They don't know me. So for them to have that negative opinion of that thing is one thing. For them to have a negative opinion of me is something completely different. Yes, the two might coincide, but once they meet me and know my circumstance, they might change their whole opinion on why that action is even negative. So it has no bearing on my life, nigga. And at the end of the day, you're not living my life. You don't have to walk in these shoes. This life is between me and God. And if you're not in this physical person, then it don't matter. And if I'm not dealing with you on an everyday basis, it doesn't matter. And if we are not working together to try and meet a common goal, it does not matter. We all have our own thoughts and feelings and opinions. We always will. So for us to take in other people's shit and then decide how we feel about ourselves because of it is why we get to these points that we do of sadness, depression, anger, disagreement, is because I'm trying to show you who and what I am, or I'm trying to prove to myself who and what I'm not, based upon other people's perceptions.
I definitely feel like that's where a lot of the discourse on TikTok panels come from is somebody will say something and somebody, like, it's very prominent with the, well, not all men or not all women. Okay, but we're using the royal you here. I'm not talking about you as a person. I don't know you or your situation. I know me. I know my experiences. So when I'm talking, it's from that perspective. Don't take it personal. If I'm saying men are dogs, that means the men I've experienced are dogs. That doesn't mean I'm saying you as well are inherently, one of these. And I feel like people got to stop taking it as a personal attack, unless it's meant as a personal attack, and then do what you're doing. But
because some people will get on and be like, all men, and be like, I'm sure all the men on the panel as well. You feel me?
Right, like
and
that's
other
different.
People will get on and say, all men are attracted to this. You feel me? And it's like, even then, and this is one thing I always be telling people, when have you seen me argue with somebody about what I am or what I'm not?
Fair.
You feel me? Like if someone says all men, I very rarely ever say, well, I don't. Or I will, after someone gives their full opinion, be like, well, in my experience, it was the opposite for me. But I'm not telling them they're wrong, and I'm not looking to jump in and negate it because it doesn't apply to me. Like,
So your perception is your reality. So if this is all you know, that is your truth. And that's it at the end of the day. That is your truth. That is how
oh,
you're.
and all I was saying is like when it comes to people jumping in to defend stuff, it's again like I said, the ego. You feel me? The thought, the concept triggers their own behavior. You feel me? What do I do? What do I not do? How do I behave? And how do I feel about me? Because if I do behave the way that they're saying, that means I'm negative the way that they're saying. Or if I don't behave in the way that they're saying, that means I'm not negative and I have to let them know that I'm not a negative. You feel me? Where it's like, no, you don't. We don't know each other.
At the end of the day, it's if the shoe don't fit, don't respond.
You feel me? If it don't apply, let it fly. But people,
But if it does apply, take a minute, think about it. Does it bother you?
Their view of themselves. You feel me? Whereas like if I say if a woman got on here and said all men are dogs because they cheat, and then I'm like, I'm not a dog. You feel me? I've never cheated. Is because I'm trying to justify to myself how I feel about that statement. It doesn't fucking matter because the point of it isn't about you.
But
We're
at
not
the same
talking
time,
about
very
you.
clearly, like, okay, I don't cheat, therefore I am not a dog in her opinion, so I am not included in
Keep
my
it
all men.
moving. You feel me? You can have that conversation internally, intellectually. Like you don't have to tell all of us that you're not a dog and you don't cheat because we didn't ask if you're a dog. You feel me? And that's what I mean by people trying to defend their viewpoint and perception of themselves once they hear something. Because we hear things, we take it in, we try and figure out how it applies to us and how we feel about it. But that has nothing to do with 80% of situations. You feel me? It's just we live so much in our own world that we can only respond from our understanding and we only look to see how we feel about things most of the time. You have to take a step back and be like, well, what is that other person feeling? Well, what do the other person want?
That I've had to explicitly state I'm speaking in a general term. It is not directed at any of you that I'm speaking to today, but in general, here's something I've seen or noticed or my opinion on the situation. Because I've noticed that if you don't explicitly say it, it devolves so quickly, and you have so many people.
Everybody is thinking in their own personal lens, in their own personal view. Where it's like, nigga, there's billions of people on the world. Everyone has their own view, opinion, and perception. Stop worrying about how you feel about you and start looking at the way people interact with the world. Because then you can decide how to even build the you want in this world. You feel me?
But also, again, we're on the internet, so if somebody views you a certain way for whatever reason, keep it moving.
You feel me? So be it. But again, it's like I've said from the very beginning of getting on this tangent. We live in an I-centric community, society. And I can't say it's necessarily like wrong. Like this is the one viewpoint and the one understanding we have with us from birth. But as you get older, you're supposed to step away from the I and the ego.
Keyword is supposed to. A lot of us have some stunted development.
But it's because of the world around us. You feel me? We have iPhones. You have your iMac. You have an iPod. You feel me? This is all about you. This is a device personalized around the things you deem important. You feel me?
Down with Apple.
Itinerary, the things that you're going to be doing. You feel me? And so it's like I can't necessarily fault people, but we have to take a step back. And this is my biggest overall takeaway. I really want people to stop being defensive. Stop worrying about yourself in conversation, like, and how you feel about yourself. We don't realize that's what's going on. But if you think about the last time you got offended by something that someone said about or to you, it's because they were either painting or addressing a side of yourself you don't want to exist or you disagree with being in existence. If someone was like, yo, I can't stand talking to you because you always so argumentative and you look at everything from a negative viewpoint. And you get offended, like, no, I don't. Is it true or is it not?
Don't prove their point.
Like, is it true or is it not? Because arguing about it doesn't matter. Explaining why you think the way that you do doesn't matter. It is like, am I negative? Am I argumentative? Yes or no? And why is that person saying this?
See, as I'm growing, I'm learning to accept the parts of me that I don't even care, like, I don't care for it. So, like, how I mentioned to you before, I know for a fact that I can be petty when the situation arises. Am I proud of that fact? Not necessarily. I would love to be a nicer person, but I also understand that it is a defense mechanism that I've developed. And you know what? Maybe I will work on it in the future, but that's between me and God. So if I'm going to be petty, I'm going to be an asshole. That's only God can judge that. If you don't like it, you could keep on stepping. Nobody is forcing you at weapon point to have a conversation with me.
And I agree with you, except for on this aspect of it. Because if it's something you noticed, now it's a question of what is this doing to me or for me? You feel me? Is this helping me or is this holding me back? You feel me? Especially when I just said the fact of the matter that we will get offended and get defensive in situations where we were misunderstanding what was even going on, right? So if you know that this is an innate defensive mechanism that you built in, you also have to actively ask yourself when it comes into effect, why? And am I helping myself or is this a detriment? You feel me? When it comes to just people on TikTok, I got you. But in everyday situations, you feel me?
No. See, it 100%, like I said, that's why it's part of my growth journey. Because I have recognized it, I have accepted it, and now I'm learning that it doesn't, like, for a little while there, it was my default. It was very knee-jerk, all right, well, you gonna get the sassy, because I didn't want to be who I was, where I just stood for nothing and took everything. So it was default sass. But now it's like, now I'm getting better. Now it's very situational. And even now, from the couple months ago when I met you to now, I'm a little less quick on the snappy than I used to be. So it's definitely a part of that healing journey of recognizing, realizing, you know, where the problem truly is, what I can do better. Is this really who I want to be?
And that's what I'm saying, because people are really quickly to just be like, this is something I know about myself and it's between me and God. No, it's between you and every person that you talk to. So if the issue is arising more than you would like it to in your life, it's now your job to do something differently or to keep reaping the same results. It's your decision and it is between you and God. But at the same time, it's your life.
Other people.
You feel me? And it affects other people. And the way you interact with other people affect where you are. So if you feel as if you don't like where you are in your life, then maybe it's time to address some things in the ways you behave and change them to be someone different.
No,
if you're happy with where you are,
I've started taking more time to. So personally, I've started taking more time to think things through before I respond. Like I'm not giving you my knee-jerk reaction of, you know, whatever it may be. Like I'm taking a minute, thinking it through, and like you said earlier, does this apply to me? Do I even need to bother a response with this, or should I move on? And I found that more often or not, I'm willing to leave it on the table where it was put and keep on stepping.
And I was about to say, because sometimes, like we was already saying, I'm going to have to say something, and it's going to be out of pocket or slightly disrespectful. You feel me? But in instances, for me personally, where I say some shit that I'd be like, maybe I should have said something different. I'm at a point in my life that if I do say some shit that is taken as offensive, I meant it, and it was on purpose. You feel me? I didn't just fly off the handle. I didn't accidentally say something I didn't mean to say. This was a thought-out approach and conversation, regardless of disrespectful or not. And if somebody knows that you are someone who takes their time and uses their words carefully, and then you get to the point of, nah, fuck this shit and fuck you, oh, they meant that. You feel me? It carries more weight than if you're the person who's hot headed or always flies off the handle. Like you're always acting that way. You feel me? And so yeah, you
Right.
just
You're
gotta
always out of pocket, so it has no bearing when you get out of pocket. But if you are usually calm minded and then you finally say, all right, you know what, time to snap off, it's like, oh, maybe I need to self reflect because they popped off and they don't do that usually. Little man, can you take a nap, please?
honestly, it wasn't until I started being in situations, and honestly, being in situations that I was appalled in, and then talking to other people and them hearing the way I handled it or hearing the way I spoke about it and being like, you better than me, dog. You're pretty evolved. And you ain't cuss him out? Oh, hell no.
I think it's really reserving that energy because that's another big thing I've learned is not everyone is worth that energy. The energy it takes to insult them, to cuss them out, to tell them about themselves. Like that takes a lot out of you to hold on to that anger and hatred. So like it might still be a petty way of thinking, but quite frankly, I sit there sometimes and I'm like, are you even worth the breath coming out of my lungs right now for me to say this to you? No.
No, that's exactly another part of the reason is to sit there and take it in and be like, why are you saying this? Because sometimes the things that we get ready to defend or rebuttal is coming from the other person's place of weakness. You feel me? Or if you know, if it's like as a person who's done business, right? If I know that I can take X amount of money invested into something and flip it, why would I listen to the person who's never done this talk about this is a dumb thing to do, or I could be spending my money differently? You feel me? And so that's to take that into an emotional space where it's like, if I know this person is a hothead, or if I know this person suffers from depression, what do I look like letting their take or input on my behavior or my actions deter me from going ahead and investing and flipping this shit? You feel me? Like you might think that I'm acting irrationally or I'm acting weird because you're a hothead and you move twice as fast as me and you're quick to cuss people out. But in my reserve, I actually was able to look at the situation, come up with the plan, go talk to the person I was angry at, and still get the outcome to work in my favor. You cussed the motherfucker out the day it happened and you never spoke again.
That's the level I am striving to be at. Like I've learned to I'm struggling to word it, but like in interpersonal relationships, I've learned that not everything needs a conversation. Like I was really irritated with my mother-in-law her last visit. Now, a couple months ago to last year, Gabby would have had something to say about it. Like in the minute, it'll be like, excuse you, like what are you doing? Like, would have caused a big fuss. But now I'm like, you know what? You've shown me who you are. You're showing me what you're capable of. And I don't want that for me. So I'm going to step back.
I'm gonna leave you alone. Exactly. And that's I don't know.
I'm
I
not going
feel
to.
like that wasn't my always my viewpoint on it. I think a lot of the time I just was too busy in my own thoughts, preoccupied with why is this person even acting like this? And then if I thought it was irrational, I just would be like, yeah, dog.
But see, when I say I used to be passive, it was to a detrimental standpoint. Like I would sit there and I would think about the other person's perspective to where I would excuse bullshit.
No,
Like
I hear you saying.
treat me like dirt, and I would sit there and think about like the things they had been through, the place of hurt that they're coming from, and I'd be like, you know what, it's okay because that wasn't fully directed at me. But then I started thinking, I'm like, but it's still harmful. I don't care if you tripped and fell and didn't mean to poke me with that weapon. You still did. I'm still bleeding, and I don't appreciate that. So I'm gonna back up from you when you have that in your hand.
No, 100%. And I agree with that too, where it's like, for me, I used to just be thinking and period and just being like surprised and shocked, right? Like, what the fuck? Where'd this come from? How do we get here from here? Like, I don't even understand. So for me to begin to respond, you're giving me a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of negative, and I'm lost in translation for why. You feel me? And then I would just let it go and still be thinking about it. Now I can understand, like you were saying, things are happening because of these reasons or that reasons or emotionally this, that, and the third. But what matters is how I feel about it and do I engage or do I disconnect? You feel me? I'm not really worried about like I'm like, all right, it's fine you have emotional trauma and childhood past issues. That's 100% fine. What isn't fine is you flipping off the handle and cussing me out because you haven't dealt with your childhood traumas and past issues. So I'm going to leave you here to do that.
Put a nigga in timeout. Think about what you did.
Like, motherfuckers not ready for that. They want you to argue with them or tell them to do different or do better.
But I
No.
feel like, honestly, like at this point, I'm like, I'm raising 3 future men. I need to be their first example on how to handle conflict, on how to, what type of people to let in their space, when is it time to respond, and when is it time to sit back and let somebody else make a fool of themselves?
It's always time to sit back and let someone else make a fool of themselves.
Not if it's one of your brothers. Check him. Correct him.
Not if this nigga don't want to listen.
Well, at this age, tattle, come and tell mommy. It's okay. It's annoying.
Yeah, you got kids. I don't.
But that's
I'm
my view.
talking to a motherfucker.
I
He
got
over 20.
kids to raise. I'm not out here trying to teach grown men and women how to act. Like, that was your mama and daddy's job. If they failed you, I am sorry, but it is not my responsibility.
Nah, the last girl I was talking
My
to.
inclination, and I feel led to. I'm gonna say a little something in a nice way to drop you with some hints to lead you, and that's the difference between how I was most recently and how I am now. Like, I might hint at it to lead you, but a couple months ago, I would have straight up been like, nah, you being stupid as hell. Open up a book, read, learn something. Google's free. Now it's more like, look, that's your perspective, and I understand that. But what we're not going to do is get disrespectful with me and leave it at that.
The last woman I was talking to, she was asking me questions after I let it be known I had kind of lost interest in continuing to pursue the relationship. And she was like, I feel like these are all things we could have had a conversation about sooner and went deeper on it. And I was like, you're not wrong, but I'm at a point in my life where I don't feel like teaching somebody how to be a decent adult.
Right, like, I'm trying to be a partner, not your daddy.
It's like, I don't want to have to tell you that you shouldn't speak certain ways to and about people. Like, this isn't even personally about the way you treat me. I see the way you interact with the world, and it's not attractive.
Fair. That is fair.
Bro, baby girl said, I feel as if you've been building a perception and opinion of me that isn't who I actually am.
Well, the only way you can build a perception of her truthfully is through her actions and her words. You don't know what's going on in her head. You don't know what thought process led to what she said or did to you. All you know is what she said or did and how it affected you.
And I'm like, I kind of understand what you're saying, but all I just did was reiterate real life examples of my observation of you in real time and how I understood and took it.
Oh, but people hate that. Don't you dare hold them accountable and quote them.
Feel me? I was telling somebody who knew her, and I was like, nah, I think she's just mad because I pretty much read her based on her act. And it lends itself to a negative viewpoint. I watched you lie to people. I watched you manipulate people. You feel me?
And if those are things that she did not like that you pointed out, she should have stopped and thought, like, okay, this is what he took from it when I did X, Y, or Z. I don't like that perception. I don't like that face being out there. Maybe I should do some self-reflection. No, I'm just getting mad about it.
It's like, literally, I seen you on a phone call lie to people multiple times about trivial things. The time you left, where you were headed, who you were with, why you didn't get the task done. You feel me? Like,
My baby is acting like a puppy now.
that's funny.
No, it's not.
And
No, it's not.
I've seen you co-sign negative behaviors. You feel me? Her best friend slapped the piss out of her boyfriend because she wanted to leave.
Ooh.
That's it. That's all. He was the driver. He brought her somewhere and she was ready to go. So she smacked the piss out of this man. I wasn't even in the room and I heard it. I was downstairs and I said, what the hell just happened? You feel me? That's how much commotion was made because the friend was ready to leave.
See, but shit like that gets me called a pick me because I'm like, I don't care if you're a man or woman. You shouldn't be putting your hands on somebody unless, of course, it's consensual and y'all having some fun times. That's different.
He was laughing. And she said, well, he did bring her here, so he's responsible for getting her back home. Duh, we not gonna condone domestic violence, though. I don't give a fuck.
You a grown woman, figure it out. And if you don't like the way he's treating you, drop him.
I was like, look, part of the reason they were in a disagreement is because he called her out for drinking too quickly, right? And her sister also left her ass because of her behavior. You're sitting here saying that your friend was wronged in a situation where she was told to stop drinking so much, and now she's mad because she can't get what she wants out of the two people who tried to keep her at, you feel me, at bay and keep a lid on her. Now she's slapping people and cussing them out, and you're saying, well, that's how she felt, and she didn't want to beat her no more. She would have never been in that predicament if she had listened to the two people who came with her before.
If it was reversed, ain't nobody would be excusing him for hitting her for something like that.
If he smacked the shit out of her, nobody would say it was okay for any reason.
But are you going to be on tonight with another panel?
Probably. As long as I finish my day. I was supposed to get started with the actual day like an hour ago. You good?
I'm being yelled at to come join karaoke, so...
Oh, before you go, I just want to say really quickly, to reiterate, it was that scenario and telling her, like, I watched you lie to this person and lie to that person, and then I seen the way your other friend handled situations with a partner, and all of that lends to me not liking it. She said,
honestly, if she is excusing hitting her partner over that disagreement, that means that she will also, and have people in her corner, encouraging her to do the same to you. So
not even just that. It's like, if you can't call somebody out for being wrong, that means you're just going to support them, you feel me, blindly. If you blindly support negative behavior, that means you expect people to blindly support your negative behavior.
That's what I'm saying. So especially as a black man, you needed to step back anyway for your own safety, because if one day she puts her hands on you and you miss and push her away from you out of reflex, who's going to get the cops called on them? It wouldn't be her.
And I just thought it was crazy when she said, I feel as if you're painting a false perception and opinion of me. I said, well, baby, you got to act different. Like, I'm going based off of what you gave me. What the fuck?
Sweetheart, chill.
Crazy.
Right. You enjoy your daily devotional.
Oh, you see, it's been open for 20 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm actually feeling a little bad because I'm like, he was ready to read his book, and I'm sitting here just talking because I talk too damn much. So,
No, I'm good.
Well, it was fun. It's always fun. I'll see you when it's.
All right. Oh, we back up in this thing with a daily devotional, right? This is called Jesus Calling. Jesus is cool if you don't rock with Jesus, dog. You do not have to be a Christian per se in order to walk away with something from this book, all right? So, it starts with, trust me and don't be afraid. For I am your strength and song. Do not let fear dissipate your energy. Instead, invest your energy in trusting me and singing my song. The battle for control of your mind is fierce, and years of worry have made you vulnerable to the enemy. Therefore, you need to be vigilant in guarding your thoughts. Do not despise this weakness in yourself, since I am using it to draw you closer to me. Your constant need for me creates an intimacy that is well worth all the effort. You are not alone in this struggle for your mind. My spirit living within you is ever ready to help in this striving. Ask him to control your mind. He will bless you with life and peace. So, the first thing I want to go to, do not let fear dissipate your energy. You feel me? Because a lot of time we let the things that we're afraid of fuel us, where we'll be running around thinking about, I can't let this happen, or I got to have enough money for this, or you feel me? All the bad situations and scenarios that could happen are usually the ones that we run in our head the most. And the things that we want to avoid are the things we spend the most time thinking about, right? And so that's giving out your energy. You feel me? Every time you stop to think about something, you're giving out your energy because you're taking your time to do it and your brain power to do it. Everybody's, I don't feel like thinking right now. It's because it takes energy to think, right? When you dead ass tired, you're not thinking as well because you don't have the same energy to do so, right? So the more that you let the idea of being afraid of an outcome guide the way you maneuver and think, you're wasting your energy. Because if I'm thinking, oh, I really don't want to be kicked out of my apartment, and I really want to make sure I have enough money to pay all my bills, as opposed to thinking, how can I get more money? You feel me? If I start thinking, what can I do to get more money and how can I get more money? I'm going to start coming up with ways to make money. If I start thinking, oh, I can't get evicted, or I'd hate to get kicked out, or I don't want my car to be repossessed, I'm just making a cycle of fear and doubt over and over on a loop in my head, as opposed to trying to make a plan. It's okay to let things that you're afraid of inspire you and encourage you to take action and to make a plan. But once you're just on a continuous loop, just thinking about negative things, you're feeding your precious brain power and energy into a negative thinking cycle that doesn't move you forward. So it's dissipating your energy, wasting your energy. Dissipate means to just let it out. Just let it out. Think about like a pot when you boiling water and you see the steam just floating out of that boy. You're not really doing anything to stop it or make it happen. It's just leaking out. That's what dissipate is. It's just leaking out. We leak out so much energy because we start thinking about negative things that we don't want to happen. I hope I don't get fired. If you stopped wishing and hoping that you don't get fired and start asking, how do I become a better employee? You don't even have to worry about getting fired. This is something that I was realizing recently, is the conversations that we have with ourselves are a lot of the time the problem, because we ask ourselves questions all the time. And once you ask yourself a question, once you ask your brain a question, it's going to start answering that question and coming up with answers for it, whether or not you like it or whether or not you think about it. Our subconscious is responsible for over 50% of the actions that we actually take. So the things that we're not even aware of thinking about is what controls us most of the time. So if you're asking yourself questions like, why am I so bad at this? Or why am I a failure? Or why does life suck? Or why am I so sad? You're going to start getting answers of why you should be sad, why you are a loser, and why life does suck. If you start to ask yourself questions about, what can I do to make life more amazing? What is my favorite thing about myself? You feel me? If you ask different questions, you're going to find different answers. If you start saying things to yourself like, what happens once I make $1,000,000? You'll start dreaming about spending that $1,000,000. You feel me? What happens once I quit this job? If you someone who doesn't like your job, instead of saying, what am I going to do once I don't have this job? Say, what happens when I start working a job I love? What happens once I complete my career training? You feel me? As opposed to what happens if I go to college and I can't get a job with my degree? If you say, how would I feel once I accomplish my goals? You're going to think differently and feel differently about it. You feel me? The way we feel is all predicated off of the way that we're thinking. And a lot of people don't pay attention to this connection because we're so used to thinking and letting our thoughts run themselves that we don't get in front of our thoughts and run them. You feel me? We have to run our thoughts and not let our thoughts run themselves and then run us. So invest your energy in trusting. The battle for control of your mind is fierce, and years of worry have made you vulnerable, right? So we start to worry about stuff as soon as we start to get a little bit of autonomy. First, second grade, you got to be responsible for bringing your lunch. You got to be responsible for doing your homework. You have to be responsible for being places on time. So you start wondering and worrying. Did I bring my lunch today? Did I finish my homework today? Do I know all of the spelling answers? You feel me? And then that turns into, do I have my driver's license with me? You don't need a driver's license, dog. They can look it up by your social. You feel me? Like, do I have my credit card with me? Is there gas in the car? Am I going to be on time to work? We're feeding ourselves so many different questions all the time that we're not in control of our thoughts and our thinking. We put that shit on autopilot and let it control itself. And wherever our brain wanders to is where we allow it to go. And that is allowing our subconscious to take control. Don't do that, because when you do that, you lose focus on the things you can control and the fact that you can direct your life in the direction and way you want it to go, simply by being aware of what you're thinking about and deciding, is this thought serving me or is this thought hindering me? A thought that is serving you is something that is furthering you. It's furthering the progression, whether it's encouraging yourself, encouraging a train of thought, or correcting it. It could be, oh, I don't, I'm talking. I just got to take a second to think. You feel me? So it's like negative questions we ask ourselves. What if I don't go to the gym? Why would I get that gym membership if I'm not going to go? As opposed to, how do I feel once I get the body I always wanted? That will motivate you to actually go to the gym. What are the health benefits of getting healthier? You feel me? How much longer is my life expectancy if I'm in shape? As opposed to, how long is it going to take me to get a workout in? How long is it going to even take me to see the abs? What am I going to wear once I have the body I always wanted? Let's ask that question. You feel me? Like questions that are going to get us moving in the direction that we want. So the battle for control of the mind is fierce because we just go with the flow. Man, what happens if I fail out of college? What happens once you make the dean's list? You feel me? And now that you are wondering what it's like to make the dean's list, you're going to strive towards that as opposed to failing out or struggling to stay in. So we make things difficult on ourselves by asking the difficult questions as opposed to asking the inspiring questions and the uplifting questions. Like, once I'm wildly successful, what does my life look like? Once I finish accomplishing my dreams, how do I feel about myself? How does the world respond to me? We usually ask ourselves the negative sides of questions, the failing sides of questions. What if I don't make enough money this month? We already know what happens if you don't make enough money. You don't pay your bills. You're going to lose something, you feel me? But if you ask yourself, what happens once I start to exceed my expectations in monthly revenue? Well, now you're able to explore. You're opening up the curiosity of your mind to be like, well, if I had an extra $1,000, what would I do? I guess I could do this and I could do that. All right, cool. Well, now I want to know, how do I get that extra $1,000? Because I just turned that into a tangible object I could touch if it was in my possession, and now I want to possess it. So how do I make that real? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I do know. I know I'm talking some good shit right now. I say I don't know because these are things I don't hear people talk about very often. Why? I don't know, man. But I think I'm gonna leave y'all with that right there. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Change the way you think about things. Change the questions that you ask yourself. Ask yourself positive questions or questions that are going to put you in a positive frame of mind.